We start with the stark findings of an international team of scientists led by the UK Met Office, which raise profound questions about the future of the Earth's climate. The team says that a prolonged heatwave in the Siberian Arctic this year is unequivocal evidence of climate change, and that the record high temperatures in Siberia would be impossible without man-made global warming. Findings are of serious concern because here in the UK and the rest of Europe, the Arctic drives much of the weather that we experience.
Now to a dire warning about climate change.
Cars and homes were washed away.
If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon.
Warnings of impending climate disasters, growing in urgency.
Heavenly Father, please help us.
Last month, the US government produced a landmark report on climate change and its impacts.
The 1,600-page report painting a dire picture if nothing is done.
It says Earth's climate is now changing faster than at any point in the history of modern civilization.
It's scary. It's so scary. To go and leave your home, everything you own, yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
If you don't believe climate change still exists, talk to a firefighter.
And it's simple. When you take record heat, which is what the West Coast has seen this summer, and you take the worst drought in at least a millennium over the past decade, you put those things together, you get these sorts of massive wildfires.
Maximum sustained winds have been clocked at 150 miles per hour. And Laura is now one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to hit the U.S. mainland.
This thing is about 400 miles in diameter.
You just look around and there's water everywhere, and you think to yourself, how is this reality?
People on Hawaii's Big Island are being urged to stay indoors after the Kilauea volcano erupted again. Check out the lava from Kilauea early this morning. It began erupting late yesterday, about 1 hour after a 4.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the area. At least 7 other smaller quakes were also reported. So far, there's been no damage. The National Weather Service in Honolulu put out an advisory warning of fallen ash from the volcano. When Kilauea last erupted in 2018, it destroyed more than 700 homes and put out enough lava over 4 months to fill 320,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Hyderabad is drowning. The rain has been relentless in the South Indian city, and it's now claimed lives. In one deadly incident, floodwaters pushed a wall onto a house, which collapsed on impact. Other victims were swept away in raging currents. Rescue teams have been working day and night, but they can't get to everyone. Residents in some areas say they've had no help at all.
This is the Fukushima nuclear power plant in Okuma, Japan. It has become a mounting concern for scientists and Japanese officials over the contaminated water that has been piling up in tanks outside the structure.
My concern is more about other forms of radioactivity that's still in there.
Nearly 1.2 million tons of radioactive water is sitting in hundreds of tanks outside the plant and has been building up daily since the Fukushima nuclear disaster, where an earthquake and tsunami crippled the plant in 2011. Officials have potential plans about releasing the radioactive water into the sea.
Brain-eating microbe in tap water has created panic in Texas after the deadly microbe killed a 6-year-old boy earlier this month. The child, named Josiah McIntyre, lived in the city of Lake Jackson. He died on the 8th of September following an infection caused by the amoeba Naegleria fowleri, and the amoeba has entered the boy's body through infected water. His mother, Maria Costello, has said that he came down with flu-like symptoms at first, but his condition worsened.
A powerful earthquake has struck central Croatia, causing damage in several cities, including the capital Zagreb. According to the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, the magnitude 6.4 event struck some 50 kilometers southeast of the capital. Official reports say it caused widespread destruction, collapsing roofs, the facades of buildings and entire buildings. The tremors also prompted the precautionary shutdown of a nuclear power plant in neighbouring Slovenia.
Why are the floods so severe in China this year? This summer, tens of millions of people across China have been affected by torrential rains that caused floods and landslides and battered cities and villages in dozens of provinces. It is the worst flooding to hit China in decades. Heavy rains have lashed 27 of the country's 31 provinces since June, affecting more than 37 million people and leaving 141 dead or missing, the Ministry of Emergency Management said on Monday. Economic losses have been estimated at 86 billion yuan, US $12.3 billion.
New analysis seen by the BBC suggests the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement are coming within reach, with scientists saying that average global temperatures could rise at a slower rate than previously feared. The Climate Action Tracker study looks at the latest promises from countries including China, as well as the plans of the US President-elect Joe Biden. Matt McGrath has this.
From the UK's wettest February on record to raging wildfires in California, the fingerprints of climate change linked to human activities have become increasingly clear this year. But efforts to curb greenhouse gases, the root cause of global warming, have so far had limited impact. When countries signed the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015, they undertook to limit the rise in temperatures to well below 2 degrees Celsius this century. But when scientists added up all the pledges made to cut carbon, they amounted to around 3 degrees of warming by 2100, with potentially disastrous consequences for the planet. However, the last 3 months have seen some significant changes. China surprised the world by announcing at the UN that they would aim for net zero carbon emissions by 2060, while President-elect Joe Biden has promised that the US will achieve the same goal 10 years earlier.